Hello everyone, welcome to GEAY, a show where the host is gay. The show is called GEAY.
Do we need to clap still?
Oh shit, you're right. Hello everyone, welcome to GEAY, the show where the host is gay. The show's called GEAY, but the topic doesn't have to be.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. My name is Simon, and with me I am joined by...
Taylor.
Austin.
And we're a little late this month. We were supposed to upload today, Sunday, but we're recording it right now, so obviously that's not happening.
Right.
That's more my fault than anyone else's.
I forgot about it, to be honest.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
Right. No, I was just doing my business.
So we were supposed to do it last week, but I don't know, I dicked around.
I feel like Ellen really was to blame. She distracted us more than I think I've ever been distracted by any human being in my life.
Yeah.
And she knew that we had such responsibilities. But she
and then I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I decided to ditch that and go to the bars with my friend who lives out of town as a flight attendant. Yeah. So, I mean, aside from that, we're getting it done. We're here. Blade Runner just came out to date this podcast, if anybody is watching.
Which one?
49. 49? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Not the first
I didn't
one.
know it was a sequel. I thought it was a remake.
Is it a sequel?
Yeah.
Awkward. I mean, that first movie had a lot of content in it, so maybe that actually would be good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear about it.
I'm seeing the first one on Tuesday, and then probably the second one the next day or something.
The way you're saying that, is it like being played in a theater?
Yes.
Okay.
So I started a movie club on campus at UNO, and as a club, we're going to watch it at the Pike House.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That would be cool, though. They probably are playing it.
The way you were talking about it earlier was I thought it was like a retro showing, like.
Maybe for your club, you could go to the university and see if you can get some space for a theater.
We're not that big of a club. We usually are good in the Pike House.
Okay.
But if we get bigger, I'll look into that.
Well, I'm just saying that if you wanted to go to a room that you can get either a screen projector or something where you could have, an actual...
A theater experience.
Yeah. A little more official than we're having a basement club.
It's
in a
not
house.
In a basement. It's in a living room.
A frat house.
I have a frat house. Awesome.
But I've been very busy, and that's probably why I've been sort of ditching out on this thing. I am now the social media director for Dance Marathon, which is
not Dance Marathon,
the philanthropy that our entire school puts on, and so I have been busy with that. Just adjusted your phone, and then I just got Workday done for the Pike house manager job that I have. So I've been doing that up until the 30th of September. But now that that's over, I really don't have anything to do for Pike. I'm actually skipping one of our meetings to be here.
Oh, wow.
I probably shouldn't say that because they're the only ones that watch this.
It's true. You are alienating our target audience.
But also, I have this dumb class, so every 5 weeks we transition to a new teacher who teaches a different section of the class.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. So we just transitioned to a couple weeks ago, and we're learning writing stories and writing feature stories and stuff. I was in the radio part of it at the beginning.
Okay.
And it sucks because we have to do one story, but we have to develop it each week. So our first due Thursday is the feature story, so the 300, 500 word story. And then next week we have a photo essay, so we have to have a bunch of photos to put with it. And then the third week we have an infographic, so we have to create with statistics and stuff. So you had to pick a story that has this longevity. So I decided to go with Extra Life, which is the charity that they're doing. Mm-hmm. But we were supposed to have no personal involvement with it, so I'm just saying that Brendan's the one running it.
You're lying.
So yeah, I'm lying. They're not going to see this.
Wow.
So yeah, I have to interview Brendan probably over the phone or something this week before Thursday, and then I just said I was going to interview Matt Lewis, who he was our miracle kid for Dance Marathon last year, through Pike, and he's 16. He has MLS, and he's been getting treatment from the Children's Hospital his whole life, basically. And I have yet to ask him, but I want him to come to Extra Life because I think that'd be a really cool thing to have on during the time we're on Rooster Teeth to actually have a miracle kid. So I have to get in contact with him and his mom, because I have to have his mom's permission because he's underage. But I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm worried about it all happening in the next 4 days.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this sounds very you. I mean, every detail about this is unsurprising. Well, it's good that you're doing stuff, though, at least.
I guess. I still didn't get a job, though. But
yeah, money's good.
Money is good.
Yeah, that's basically all I've been doing is working. Like, if I'm not because it's hero on the weekend, hero day at the weekends, and then during the week it's the call center, and then it's my free time is rehearsal, and then eating and sleeping.
How's the call center? You've been there for a while now.
Yeah, I've been there for 2 months. No, August 20-something. So just like almost 2 months, month and a half ish. And I mean, it's pretty nice. It's super easy. I basically just get to sit there and talk to alumni for like a block is like 3.5 hours, and there's 9 blocks within the week. You have to pick 3 to work for sure, and then after that anything is extra. And they do like raffles and stuff like that for any extra hours. So like they basically like telling you come in, you'll give you free stuff, and so they just get to talk to like alumni about their experiences, and like basically I ask advice or a lot of them of like any especially grad students.
What's the coolest alumni you've ever talked to?
A girl who offered me a job out of college.
Shit.
She is a pharmaceutical auditor. And in California, she makes $33,000 a month.
Nice.
That sounds like a pyramid scheme. I would have that.
No, and she told me, because I told her like I want to do research and stuff like that, and so she told me that after I graduate with my undergrad and do a couple years of research, to hit her up on LinkedIn. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Very cool.
And then another one that would be interesting. It'd probably be, I've talked to the owner of what is it called? There's one in town, but it's a yoga place.
Pure Bar.
No, I was saying Locust, but that sounds wrong.
Oh, Lotus
House of Yoga. I talked to the owner of that.
Okay.
And
none of this is sponsored content.
No, it's just experiences some sort.
We are in a new location though, just down the stairs from our old location.
It's a wonderful
our
place.
studio bedroom is being painted right now, so they're trying to get the house ready to sell it. So,
But
yeah, they don't need this much space.
You don't say.
Yeah.
You mean just your parents?
Yeah.
2 people in this like
2 people
5-bedroom
in this
house?
Yeah. They're trying to downsize, which is another movie coming out, which I'm excited for. Anyway, continue.
And so I mean it's relatively easy. Plus it's 25% pay increase every month as long as you show up to your 12 scheduled shifts a month. And then if your credit card percentage, because like when you take donations from alumni, they get either credit card or pledge card, and if your credit card percentage for the month is higher than like the expected for the whole entire call center, so say they want like 29% credit cards of all pledges, and I get if I each have 10 pledges but 3 of them are credit cards, that's 30% for me, so I get the 20% extra pay increase.
I want to get to a place where I would be an alumnus that would be called, because I know that I would be hung up upon. You know how like telemarketing, you always like you get hung up on because you're terrible. I would for sure be like, how dare you call me and ask for money for this hellhole? I mean, certainly they're going to give me this paper in December. It better happen. But
Yeah.
Jesus, I mean, I should audit them for all the therapy I'm going to need from dealing with their shenanigans. But like, I mean, that's great that center does such good work for helping people get money. Because, I mean, do you think it's not very demanding, is it? Like, you just call people.
Literally just call people.
Right.
I mean, the supervisors, they do like coaching calls like during it, and so like they like grade you basically how you do. It's really hard in some situations because like I've done a job like an internship where I was selling door to door, and so like I know people like financial situations, and so like I'm not saying I'm like the expert on it, but like hearing people's tone of voice, like them talking and like giving like reasons why they can't donate, it's like, okay, I can tell this person's being very sincere and I don't like keep pressuring them, but like most times I have to go through all 4 asks on a call to get like 100% unless they do something like proper. And like it starts at 150, goes to 100, goes to 52, and then 35. And the only way I can skip to 35 is if they're unemployed, they're a grad student, or they've had some serious medical expenses come up, and unexpected, having a baby. That was 9 months in the planning. You can't use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
That was happening, but someone just broke a bone or just had surgery or stuff like that. That's stuff I can be okay.
What about I'm gonna be having some elective surgery in the next couple months. I just can't afford to give anything out.
I gotta go with the 4S.
Oh, okay.
And there's been times when if they've donated if they donate to something, and then I just don't have to go through the ass. There's one guy who was an alum for I call Carney a lot. I don't know why. I'm just really good at getting Carnies to participate, I guess.
Carnies?
Yeah. People
from Carney or the carnival folk?
There's a carnival. There's a circus in town. I drove by it on the way here. It's like Cirque Italiana or something.
Ooh, I gotta avoid that part of town.
Yeah, it's at the Lancaster Event Center.
Oh, the horse farm. Oh, terrible. Oh, I hate that place. That place is where dreams go to die.
No, well, the call center, we call for all University of Roscoe schools. So UNO, UNL, UNMC, and UNK.
Why would you not just do UNMC?
Let me know if you ever call a Pike at UNO and tell me who it is.
What?
Let me know if you ever call a Pike at UNO and tell me who it is.
I've talked to a few Pikes, but they were from UNL, so...
Is that what he said, TJ?
No.
Okay.
but I started chanting the Pike thing.
Oh my god.
Just because I knew it.
Oh my god.
It's so misleading.
What if you told them a secret that you're not supposed to know?
Yeah,
and just hung up, would they be mad?
Yeah.
What would they do? Would they incite the god or whatever? Weird
The Pike
cult?
god?
Yeah.
No, but...
I assume it's some sort of kraken.
But
I don't know.
Okay.
We have a book called The Oak.
I did not have.
I mean, Picaps is the white diamond, so...
Okay, a lot of secrets on this podcast.
I mean, the white, you just look that
Not
up.
secrets, it's just symbols.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And as disinteresting as they keep coming.
That is interesting how that battery's dying more than this one. They're both at full power.
Interesting.
I should charge that one.
But no, so it's super easy, and I call Carney a lot, and I get them to participate. But no, it's a really laid back job. Plus they're super lenient. I get scheduled. I've been getting scheduled at Hero more so during the week than I usually do. And so I'll split up one of my shifts on so I work Monday and Wednesday this week at Hero. I'll split up one of my required shifts a few hours before Hero here, a few hours before Hero here. They're okay with it splitting it up.
Okay.
As long as you talk to them about it.
Well, I know where I'm going to be applying in the next 2 hours. So I've been basically training for a half marathon.
Oh, yeah.
My knees are shot, but my heart is strong. And my clothes are too big at this point.
That's good.
It's a good
It's a good thing.
I have found that it is not as hard as I thought it was going to be to get back into it. Honestly, it took a couple days. And I was going to run yesterday, actually. I was going to do a half marathon, but I got a shin splint, and that is the worst pain. And it's just bad because it's you're not actually physically hurt, it just hurts. Your body is just ow.
Yeah.
It really is absolutely nothing more than your body wimping out on you. And
how do you prevent those? Is it something wrong with form or something? Because when I did football in high school, I used to always get them.
Yeah. No, first of all, any sort of crashing motion, not super great for it. So football, for example, when you're really hitting your knees again, or you're not hitting your knee, but hitting your feet against the
turf.
Yeah. I get them all the time in marching band. Terrible. I know that unless because sometimes shin splints are actually serious, but oftentimes they're not. Usually you want to go through them. From what I understand, you just want to keep fighting, or not fighting through it, but work out through it. And in this case, that's all I needed to do. At the end, it wasn't as bad, but the next day I didn't have them. It depends on if you. I feel as though in my experience, when you let them be when you let them hurt, in fact, the way you do it, it hurts way more, way longer. But I just usually stretch them out and they go through them, and
yeah.
As far as avoiding them, I think that your body just stops doing it, I guess. Either that or It's probably just form, I guess. Because the thing is that I run cross country, so I'm on different elevations and stuff. So it's not like I think I get them way more on treadmills than not. So
I've heard that too. Like treadmills are bad to run on a lot, just because like there's not a lot of variation in elevation. And stuff.
No, yeah, running on natural land is much better for your legs.
Yeah.
But the ticks.
And it's gonna get cold out.
Right. The rain.
Layer up.
I literally ran through a sewer the other day because
it was running in the rain the other day.
I'm sorry, was I talking? Because guess what? It was the sewer and rain for me, actually. Just a little bit more than you. I literally was in this underpass, and the water had risen at the moment that I got there to where it just flooded over. And it was gray water, as it tells us. Yeah, now that we all know what that means. And
you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vile. And there weren't any gazebos. Thank you.
Gazebos.
The movie was oddly obsessed with the term gray water. Like, I feel like the director like learned it recently and then just tried to like incorporate it into his like art.
I mean, good for him. Now that I know, I've never heard that phrase.
Yeah,
it is certainly a common thing that I see now. But like when on my running track, there's a certain part where you're like, I'm by the zoo. There's just a moment where you're just like, I'm in the zoo area, and what sucks is that I don't like to smell the gray water and the sewer. Call me old-fashioned. So I'm usually like breathing through my mouth at this point. Well, then I find out that I'm so close to the sewer for such a long period of time that I physically taste it. Not because like, oh, just a little bit in there. Like I have water in my mouth and I just want to vomit.
Gross.
And this is like mile 4 and I have like 4 more to go. Like this is way too much. So really excited though. That being said, for the next time that I get to do it. So hopefully this week I'll be able to do the half marathon.
No, yeah, I've been running recently, and like every now and then I get shin splints again, and I'm just so sad because back in when I did cross country for East, I just want to be able to go to Mac's office and just soak him. I soak
yeah.
I don't like. I've only heard of Mac and just the getting a the personal. What is his job name?
He's an athletic trainer.
Athletic trainer, that's what it is. Yeah, okay. You know, he sounded like a miracle worker, but I was never.
Yeah, I mean, he's great at his job. Obviously, he's in the Athletic Training Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah, he, but yeah, in the back of his office is just this giant tub that they just ice water and then you just soak, and it just feels
like
great.
Spa.
Yeah, but no, it's just it always would just soothe it so well.
This is actually hot wax that just exfoliates the skin.
But no, it's like every now and then when I run and I get like a shin splint, I'm like, I can't just go ice bath it like I used to be able to.
I'm gonna change the subject.
Fuck
if
you.
I had to ask you what the plot of Pulp Fiction was, what would you say?
Putting me on the spot, huh?
Yeah. Either anybody can answer.
People are bad, but try to be funny.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't seen Pulp Fiction all the way through.
So I saw it for the second time on Tuesday for my movie club, and everybody kept asking me, what's the plot of this movie? And I just trying I was like, I don't know. Well, it was just it's just basically a collection of stories that all kind of relate to each other, and they're all kind of like mob related, or like whatever that is.
Well, the thing is that it's one of those situations where like there's not really a main plot because that's not the theme of the movie. Like,
yeah,
it's many different stories, so each section has its own plot, and it's just they all are interrelated.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, and there's really no answer because that's the nature of it. Is no answer.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah. We were watching the movie and it was a bunch of people who had never seen it before, and they were all just kind of like over it. How it was just a bunch of stories that they didn't like characters were shared, but like they didn't think was going anywhere. And then the last story where like they end up at the diner that the movie started at.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh, it's the diner!" It's just like, really? That's why you're into the movie now?
I really hate those kind of glimpses into the mind of the average person. Like, when we were watching it, there's that scene where the kid goes into the room alone, because that happens all the time in this movie, and there's just a lot of clowns in there. Literally, like, without skipping a beat, the guy next to me goes, huh, clowns. And mind you, this is not a place where I was allowed to laugh, and I was migraine already, and just hanging migraine.
Yeah.
And it's just, why are people the way that they are? Because that is exactly the thought process. Is, ooh, it's the diner. Like, that is not the point of the movie. Of course it's the diner.
Yeah.
It ends with the clothes. What more do you want? Like,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
It was funny though, because like in relation to that, I'd seen the it's a gazebo thing like all over Reddit and stuff like that, but I didn't understand why that was a thing. And then when I finally saw the movie, immediately when he said that, I was like, oh.
Right. Yeah, no, I truly thought that there would be some sort of fear-related gazebo in the thing. No, it was just placebo. That's fine.
Haha, this little kid doesn't know what the word placebo is.
Which is weird, because he knows so many other things. Why would he not be able to know the word placebo?
Yeah.
He would have said that earlier in this movie, given a lot of the other words that he knows. Anyway.
Like, his greatest fear is a leper.
It's oddly specific. Like, okay, cool. I'm not saying that kids don't know that, but if he knows this, then why... Yeah, and he's very familiar with the AIDS crisis. I feel like he has a lot of vocabulary, including the word placebo.
Yeah.
But all right.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of... Oh, I started watching Big Mouth, which is a show on Netflix. It's very funny. You might not think it's funny. It's very vulgar, but it's very like I don't know, heartwarming in its vulgarness. Mm-hmm. I think all the acting's done really well, the voice acting. But like the main character is basically Joel. Like he's this prepubescent, really short guy who's got big lips, and that's what he's known for.
Wow, you are really just taking a couple pot shots at Joel right now, aren't you?
Well, I remember growing up, like he was like the short kid.
Well, he still is short. I'm just quite frankly saying that you're putting him under the bus right now. Anyway, the only thing I haven't seen it, but I did watch somebody. I watched a review of it without giving any of the plot details away. But basically, what he said is that it's very polarizing because what it does is that it very much relies on trying to relate to the audience's experiences on adolescence, and if it like hits that and like people can relate to it as like when they're growing up, then it's great. But not everybody has what it is trying to relate to, and so if you don't, you're just like gross.
See, but there's so many characters that like I feel like they hit every beat that they could hit. Okay. Like I feel like there's each storyline has like a way that you can relate to these characters. Like if you don't relate to that specific experience through pubescence, you relate to these other ones. Kind of thing.
The main thing
like they cover all the bases.
This guy, I mean, this is very specific to this guy. But this guy's very like asexual and like had like no like sexual like what I would say like awakening in his teens, and yet alone now. And he's like, so I just is like this is not for me.
But how does he not realize he's an anomaly at that point? Like you can't call shows bad just because you are very specific and don't relate to it.
Well, he's just
like,
saying.
What do you relate to?
The criticism that he has, though, is that like it doesn't like, or beyond the layer of trying to relate, it doesn't have the layer of universality. Like it relies on its relation without the relation.
I just think it's really funny. Besides that,
the thing is too, I've only seen one clip from it, and I thought it was. I mean, there was no. It was the dog thing where it's like he has that medical condition where he's self-aware or whatever, and it's like, oh god, like that's not sexual or vulgar at all. So.
Yeah. I'd say give it a shot. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. I'm only on like episode 4 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what else?
The art style is a little off-putting. I'll tell you that.
I mean,
but so is
I thought that about Rick and Morty when I first saw it. Yeah. I was
Rick and Morty's.
What do you think of the finale
of Rick and Morty? I thought so. This third season, I had a theory, like one of those fan theories about the whole show, Rick and Morty. But this third season's kind of been like putting that theory to rest. Like it basically been saying like what I was thinking wasn't like valid anymore. But the finale totally validated it. Because he had like a line where there are infinite number of Ricks talking to their daughters at this exact same location, like sort of a throwaway line or whatever. And my theory is that like every single theory that exists about Rick and Morty is true in some Rick and Morty universe. Like this one citadel, there's infinite citadels. It's just this is the one that we're dealing with right now. Like people don't seem to understand infinite, I think, and so they try to theorize about the show, but like it could very possibly be we watching a different Rick and a different Morty every episode.
I don't want to poo-poo on that, but I thought that when we were first introduced to the Citadel, they said that this exists outside of that.
I mean, it exists in a dimension.
No, they say like they have an outside of this like interdimensional like thing.
But how do we know that another one of those doesn't exist somewhere else?
I mean, it's true. I mean, like, but the thing is that this is telling us yes or no, and I thought that they had said that this was an exception, that they created this outside of the infinite cosmos.
I think infinite's way bigger, and there's another set of people who said the exact same thing.
Okay.
Kind of a thing, but I understand what you're saying. But yeah, I don't know how we got on this tangent.
Oh, just the theory, or like how'd you like the finale?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean,
I thought it was in terms of like the previous episodes that like led up to it. I just feel like it was kind of neat seeing him kind of duke it out with the president, but then at like the very end with the whole like drama with his daughter, it's just like, and then he just left.
Yeah.
I actually only cared about that second part, and I really didn't care about the president part at all. I was like, oh. Like,
I'm really surprised that they answered that question in the next episode. Like,
yeah.
I thought they were gonna leave the is Beth a clone open-ended, and they were just like...
So is she, or...
No, she's not.
Okay.
I guess we don't know. Rick could always be lying, but, like, I think the point is it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I love that part where it's like, oh, I must be a clone because I remember hating that day. It's like, uh-oh. Yeah, Jerry's pretty pathetic, though, and I mean, he's back, I guess.
Yeah.
It's going to be like season 1, a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. That is the answer to my question, I suppose.
I mean, that's what a good sitcom is. It's where you don't mess with the form to the point where you can't put it back at any point. So
this is true. I mean, it's weird to think because the show feels like it's a lot longer than it is. Like,
yeah, there's only 3 seasons, and that's crazy.
Right. And I mean, to compare the other season finales, it's like, this really isn't even... We don't have enough at the point.
Mm-hmm. Are you buying into the Christmas special? Or if, like... So, did you watch the after credits thing?
Oh, yeah.
Where Mr. Butthole.
I did, but I didn't make any connection about a Christmas special.
I mean, he said, we'll be back, and I might have, like, a Santa beard or something.
Oh,
okay. So people are like, they're going to do a Christmas special. Or, like, season 4 is going to be this Christmas.
It would be a special. It wouldn't be, for sure.
I want to see the Christmas special and them in Atlantis getting that mermaid puss.
I'm just thinking.
I think you missed the point of that episode.
I don't care about the rest of the episode. Just
Jesus.
Mermaid puss.
What the hell? Clowns. That's what I just heard you say. Like, are you kidding me?
That was a great episode. And I think Justin Roiland was the only voice actor in the whole episode.
Sure.
It was just Rick's and Morty's.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the episodes, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously most of all of them, but I think he was the only voice actor in the whole episode.
Have you guys ever gotten into Hannibal Lecter and that kind of stuff? No. So you've never seen Silence of the Lambs?
I've seen Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, that's like one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
The movie's so good. And this TV show is not very good. No. It's so dramatic.
Is this like in the same universe as Silence of the Lambs?
No. Well,
it's just
yes
the same
and no.
story.
It's the same kind of. So recall that Silence of the Lambs is about Clarice Starling.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is. It uses the books where she's in it, but she's like kind of the second character, and Hannibal is of course in jail at the time. This is about before that. Hannibal is still out. He's a psychiatrist, and it's about this main character Will Graham, and it's just not doing it for me. I'm like, good like 9 episodes in, and it's 45 minutes per episode, but like it's just like they're trying to make the main character be like, oh, he's kind of weird, socially awkward, kind of like autistic, but like he's not, which is always bad in my opinion. And then he's like kind of weirdly like psychic, and it's like you really
kind of like how the Saw movies, where like the Jigsaw character was just like really weirdly omniscient and kind
Yes.
of a god for no reason.
For no reason. This is not acceptable. It's
Yeah.
just like, this makes no effing sense. Like, if you have a character that is this, don't make him the main character. Like, I think it'd be totally fine if this character existed but wasn't the main focus. Because what do I care about? Like, he can win all the time. Like,
Yeah.
You know? It is very gay.
Oh.
And that was always a discussion about this TV show. And there was this weird moment where, like, I say weird because this is how I felt as it was going on, where, like, the main female basically, like, they kiss, and I'm like, why is this happening? Seems like out of character for this show at the moment. But yeah, so that was just my final thought. I just wish things weren't so dramatic. Like, why can't things be normal? Like, it reminds me like Disney Channel shows. Like, it's always got to be some really specific, super exciting other life, and it's like, why can't we just watch normal people?
If that's sort of like an issue I had with, like, the only pretty much issue I had with Westworld is that it's all just so fantasy. The way people talk, the way people act around each other, it's all just sort of like...
Avoid spoiling, by the way, because I'm...
Yeah. It's just all sort of like... It's elegant, but that's sort of like... It's not real.
Yes.
Kind of a thing.
Like, it'd be so good if they did have the other characters that are not involved talk normal, and then outside, it's, like, very casual normal. Yeah, everyone has these weird power lines, and it's like...
Everybody's got a monologue for some reason.
Yes. Oh, I hate things that monologue. Yeah. Like... At least if it's something that's supposed to be real. Like, if it's like Game of Thrones does that a lot, and it does get a little annoying, but, like, at least this is sort of literature come alive. But Westworld, like, the whole point is that it's supposed to be, realistic to a degree. And
like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Like, but people really buy into it. People wouldn't, I don't think, like it as much, which it's not that it means it's better. But, like, exactly.
It's debate on whether or not that is an issue for most people, and it probably isn't.
No.
Yeah. We're going to cut the podcast a little short this week. One, because I have been getting people telling me that's still too long, like 45 minutes. Like,
really?
Yeah. And two, I have to take TJ somewhere. So
I got rehearsal.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back again next month with another guest.
Hopefully it won't be TJ.
Hopefully it won't be...
Cool.
All right. Bye, everybody.